Hi. I'm going to be honest. I thought I'd deleted that tab 9, but I didn't. My original concept was that for each slide, I would have a different Flight of the Conchords lyric. And then I thought I'll have a different GIF of Troy Barnes from Community. I didn't do either of those because I'm a fucking professional. So this talk was originally like 2,500 words long because this game ruined me for life. It's basically I'm gonna have to use notes because if I don't, then I go off topic and I start telling you things about my life that you shouldn't know, especially since it's being recorded. So it's about how BioWare makes me cry, and I mean they're pretty well known for their characters and their relationships anyway. I still haven't played much Dragon Age, but I hear there's this guy called Alistair, so. This is about Mass Effect, damn it. Okay. So, in my opinion, the first reason that the relationships are so good is that, like, all of the romanceable characters, and there are a lot of them, they all have really distinct personalities. And I've made a list of what I think of all the different characters you can romance. So, obviously, there's Garrus first, who is my one true love forever. I have a poster of him above my bed, and I don't think my partner likes it very much. Oh, God. Because he doesn't game, he's not a gamer. So he doesn't understand. I'm going to get him one day. Anyway, so yeah, Garrus. So he's like an ex-police sniper dude, and he's got like a waist-hip ratio to die for. And then they've got Ashley, and she's like the strong-minded soldier that I don't really get on with. And then you've got Caden, who can't take a fucking hint. Like, I was trying to let him down gently, and he's like, oh, but I love you. And I'm like, I can't. I'm going to have to like smack you in a minute. I can't get you to... They got Liara, and she's like incredibly sweet and sort of magical, and she's like this archaeologist, anthropologist, cool girl. And then you've got Thane, your assassin with a sad backstory. And then you've got Tali, who's this adorable nerd. And then you've got Steve, who's grieving his husband, but probably still one of the most well-adjusted people that you're going to meet. Miranda, your sarky fucker with an unexpected soft center. And then you got Jack, who's like really unstable, but she's the most fun to take into battle, and she reminds me of Faith from Buffy, which is anything that reminds me of Buffy is great. Jacob, who's like the stalwart and loyal guy, he's going to go far in his career. You got Morinth, seductive serial killer. You got Samara, who's a mother, and that can go badly. You got then you've got like the three that I don't know if anyone's actually romancing. You've got Diana Alice, who's your stubborn and smart journalist. You've got Kelly Chambers, who's essentially your PA. And then you've got Samantha Trainer, who's the British version of Kelly Chambers, basically. And I don't know if you can have full-blown relationships or if it's just a fling. But yeah, so you've got like all these options. And then if you got Citadel, you can sleep with James Vega, you know, Mr. I'm so tough until you actually flirt back. And then you've got Jarvik, I'm the last of my entire species and very bitter. Justifiably, I would be as well. Because, like, fuck it, let's not... I said I wasn't going to go into this. Okay. So you should all get Citadel if you haven't already, because it's just fucking great. So that's 17 characters, and they're all completely different, and they've all got unique dialogue and little cutscenes and some really good voice actors, and they've put a ton of thought into all their creation, and it really shows. And it means that you can genuinely pick the one that you like best, and that's an option you don't usually get. Usually it's just, this is your person now. I've always wanted to romance Rex, but I think there'd be some proportional issues. Anyway, in the second game as well, your knowledge of their different personalities and strengths can mean life or death. Oh, that reminds me, has anyone not played Mass Effect? No way, you're kidding me. Okay, so does anyone want me to leave out, like, avoid spoilers? Because I have them highlighted, I can skip them. Thank you, because... All right. Okay, so, yeah, so basically, if you don't know them very well, then they can probably just die, and, you know, that's how well Bio wants you to know them. Like, they give you this incredibly strong motive to talk to them and not treat them like your average NPC. And the last mission of Mass Effect 2 can go horribly wrong if you just rush through the game, you don't know the characters very well, and then you don't give them the right things to do, because because that happens. You can't see that very well, but that's the memorial plaque with everyone who's dead. Like, and they die for real for the rest of the game, which is really cruel and awesome. And there's such a point made of it in the third game, because you're repeatedly told, like, you can't save everyone. I mean, you've got Thane and you've got Mordin, and there's that little kid at the beginning, and it's like, I'm tugging at your heartstrings. This is like 6, and now he's blown up. Ha ha ha. And you can't do anything. You can't do anything to stop entire planets getting taken over by the Reapers. And turning over. At one point in Mass Effect 2 Arrival, you have to completely destroy a whole Batarian system. It's like 300,000 people, and you can't even warn them. Like, I tried, damn it, but it didn't work. Then this happens. It's like, with all of the warnings and the foreshadowing and my really in-depth knowledge of foreshadowing and being able to predict stuff before it happens, like, do you realize how long it took me to realize I really couldn't save Thane? Like, until he actually literally died from the disease he told me he had when I met him. Like, because like, he was special, right? He's not just any NPC, and you know, there's always a way around these things. You can do this quest a bit quicker, or you can go and talk to someone before you talk to someone else, or you can special conversation option. You know, you can do it. You can save him. But that's not what happens in real life. So as much as we use games for escapism, if they're not grounded in some sort of reality, then it's not going to have the emotional impact that BioWare were going for, and the emotional impact is heartbroken. So these are some of the loyalty quests, because this is another way that they build up your relationship with the characters, because it's just the sheer amount of time and investment that you spend with them. Each game can take up to 30 hours, depending on how much you want to complete, and there's 3 of them. And these are long games. And you have a core of about maybe 7 or 8. I get them all mixed up. It's like, I don't know, it's like Breaking Bad or something, where I'm like, I have no idea when anything happens, but I know it all intimately. And it's just a lot of time to get to know people in the game. And if you have the Shadow Broker DLC, then you get dossiers on them that tells you stuff that they won't tell you. So like, Garrus's visor plays in music, and Jack is banned from several Citadel online forums for swearing. And there's just tons of little bits that just makes them into like a more complete person. Depending on who it is even. Each person has at least one side quest throughout that progresses their character, and sometimes the way they develop afterwards is different depending on what you say. So in Mass Effect 2, Garrus has this side quest where he wants to track down and shoot the guy who betrayed him. And at first I was like, yeah, shoot him good, because I don't tolerate disloyalty. But it felt hollow afterwards, and he didn't seem happy about it, so I reloaded the game and stopped him, which I know is not the point. But I felt so much better when he was like, yeah, thanks for stopping me. I personally would still have shot the guy, but it wouldn't have been good for Garrus. So the point is, you have a real effect on their future, and it's like the sense of responsibility that I have very, very rarely, apart from my dogs in Minecraft. I'm just like, just stay there. Stay there, do not attack anything. And I honestly think that's what it comes down to, because you end up feeling like an actual leader. You feel the weight of your decisions just like you would in real life. I've never been the commander of a spaceship, but I imagine it's very similar. So I'm just going to quickly talk about the endings to each of these games. So this is the best I could do for the ending of the first one. I mean, even before this happens, so you can lose Rex if you don't have enough Paragon or Renegade points to talk him down. And then you have to lose Ashley or Caden. I mean, I picked Ashley, and then I regretted it because Caden still couldn't take a hint. Just like a real life guy who's into you. Otherwise, it sort of ends positively. You take down Saren, and you walk away with that sort of, as close as I could get to like the little smile that you get at the end, and you're like, yeah, fucking awesome. The Reapers are still coming, but you proved that you're cool, so that's the most important bit. And you got this thing. This it makes the creepiest noises. So Mass Effect 2 is basically the opposite of the first one. Like, your entire crew can get killed, not just from your bad decisions, but from lack of preparation. Like, if you haven't upgraded as much as possible, people die on the ship. If you haven't done loyalty missions or you make them do the wrong thing, then they died en route to the creepy Reaper Baby, which is a great band name. And if you just completely shit everything, then literally everyone dies, including you, because you have to have someone other than Joker survive to help you onto the ship at the end. And if you're playing for the first time with no prior knowledge, and you don't realize how important side quests are, you can unwittingly start losing people without knowing why, and you start thinking, oh shit, why did that happen? What did I do? What if someone else dies? And you have no way to predict anything. I lost Legion on my first time, and I didn't realize how bad that was until Mass Effect 3, because it was like, great. This is just... So I have, right, okay, so this is a tangent now, but I have these two friends, and one of them is like my gamer guru guy, and I was talking to him while I was playing it on Steam, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take Garrus and Rex to the Reaper Baby, and he's like, do you want to do that? Are you sure? And I was like, Jamie, do not fuck with me! He wasn't fucking with me, so I kept Garrus. So then you got Mass Effect 3. In case you can't tell, that is you and Anderson. I'm talking about all the relationships, but Anderson is like, I have this thing for father figures. Not in a weird way, but they're really important to me, because I think dads can be really undervalued. And like, I don't know, Anderson is just there, and at the end he says he's proud of you, and that's just something that you always like to hear, really. There's even a bit of music that says I'm proud of you, I think. Yeah, it didn't help that my dad was actually dead. I'm not even joking, like, my dad is dead. So, and then Anderson gets shot, and I'm like, are you what? So yeah, we just go with the picture up there. You do this last goodbye with the surviving characters that you've got, and you get this increasing sense of, uh-oh. Like, it's particularly bad because of the last conversation you have with Garrus, and he says, come back alive, it'd be an awfully empty galaxy without you. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You still say that to me, really? So you go into the finale, and I was fully expecting cutscenes of everyone dying because I forgot to do something. And instead, I died. And I'm aware that you can achieve the perfect ending, and Shepard takes a breath at the end. That's not what happened to me, and I don't think that's what happened to many people who play it for the first time. So you see your own dead body, and it's like, who's going to look after everyone? And I was just sort of staring at my laptop screen at 2 in the morning, like literally crying, thinking Garrus is going to be devastated. He's never going to recover. So because I had to know my crew members in order to succeed, and because I was aware of how my choices would affect them, and because I knew they could die permanently, there's such a sense of responsibility that you feel that the consequences, the relationships that you have in that game are real, and that's kind of how to write characters. So just so we don't end on a sad note, I don't know if you've seen this bit. So this is from Citadel, and there's you and there's Rex and Grunt, who are just fucking amazing. And you're all drunk, and they're going, Shepard! And you go, Rex? And then Grunt goes, Shepard! And you go, Grunt! And it goes on like that for like 10 minutes. And it's like the best bit of the game. So you should really download it and play it, because it's basically just a load of fun in-jokes for you. And it's like little intimate moments with each of your friends, and you do like a little dance with Garrus, and then you like have a shooting competition, and you can choose whether... I always beat him. And the party is just hilarious. And then you have like this clone, and it's just, yeah, just play it. And it's little touches like that, even if they are in a DLC, that show that BioWare really cares about its characters and how we feel about them. So in summary, I'm sorry, this wasn't a funny picture, this is literally a summary. This is what they do. You get your good characters, you get them fully developed. You are given a reason to know them, because like if you get something like Skyrim, you can just be like, yeah, I'm going to hire you, off we go. And then you've got the consequences, including death, and that's in capitals for a reason. Because otherwise, you're not gonna. If they can never die, then you're like, meh. don't really need to care that much. And then there's the last one, because like we come on, the talk's so far, we get heavily invested, and you just gotta accept that. And that's basically what you need, and that's what, in my opinion, the whole industry needs for a story-driven game on this scale. You need this level of commitment and depth and level of thought that gets put into the characters and into making you have a relationship with them and fulfilling that relationship in some way at the end, and that's it.